Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. And this is Miss Bryanna, one of the teachers at Church by the Sea. Welcome.
Good morning. Here I am once again, Miss Suzi, one of the teachers in the nursery Church by the Sea. I'm happy to see you all.
Everybody, let's join together for our welcome song. Hello,
Hello,
so
everybody.
glad
So
to
glad to
see
see
you.
you.
Hello, everybody. So glad to
Glad
see
to see
you.
you. Hello to Danilo. So glad to see you.
Hello to Ariela. So glad to see you.
Hello to Azai. So glad to see you.
Hello to Hugh. So glad to see you.
Hello to Henry. So glad to see you.
Hello to Pete, so glad to see you.
Hello to Leonardo, so glad to see you.
Hello to Miss Suzi, so glad to see you.
Hello to Miss Bryanna, so glad to see you.
And
And
hello.
today's lesson is going to be brought to us by Miss Bryanna.
Thank you, Miss Suzi. Today's story is called God's Love Grows. A long time ago, in a land far away, there was a large vineyard. The gardener who cared for the grapes in this vineyard worked very hard to look after the plants so that they would stay healthy and grow good grapes. Every year, the branches on the vines would produce big bunches of grapes. As the gardener looked after the vines, the grapes would grow and grow until they became ripe and juicy. They were very good. One day, Jesus and the disciples walked through the vineyard and looked at the wonderful growth of the vines. They saw how strong and healthy the vines were. They gently touched the plants, smelled the grapes, and wondered how many grapes would grow on the vines. Just then, the gardener arrived and asked if they would like to taste the fruit. Yes, please, everyone said. Jesus and the disciples sat down and watched as the gardener carefully picked a big bunch of grapes and passed them around. They tasted luscious. Jesus looked at the grapevines and then looked at the disciples. I have something very important to tell you, Jesus said. Everyone listened very carefully. What was Jesus going to say? Jesus smiled and spoke gently. Imagine that God is the gardener and I am a grapevine. Let's imagine that all of you are my branches. Now, I'm going to send lots of God's love to you. Lots and lots of God's love. Now you are full of God's love too. What are you going to do with all God's love? I could share my food with someone who is hungry, said one of the disciples. I could sit with someone who is lonely, said another disciple. Yes, yes, said Jesus. Now, God's love is growing. Every time you do something loving for someone else, both of you will feel God. And God's love will keep on growing, just like the grapevine keeps on growing. Now, I hope that this story can remind us how God's love is always growing and we can always feel it every single time we do something kind for somebody else.
Thank you, Miss Bryanna. Now we are going to put our hands together and we are going to say our closing prayer. Dear God, I just want to thank you for your word, for your teachings. Thank you for loving us so much, even though sometimes we don't deserve it. I just want to pray to help us to remember how much you love us and how you would like us to spread that love to others. Maybe a smile to someone that is sad, a loving hand, a loving hug, just to let other people that they are loved by God, by you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do for us. Stay with us every single day and remind us to be your disciples here. In your holy name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we will see you next week.
Yes, thank you for being with us once again. Thank you for this time. And just remember, this week, let's try to be somebody's smile, somebody's, let somebody know how much we care as Jesus cares for us. Bye-bye.
Bye, Miss Susie.
Bye, Miss Bryanna.